Maitland. Hi everybody, this is Jerrie Dean from Missing Persons of America. Over the years, there are people that have disappeared after they were in a car accident. Some were found later walking down a road, and some were found years later deceased, miles from where they crashed. Today, we're going over 5 cases of women that have suddenly disappeared after a car accident. See you in a second. Number 1, Kimberly Flint. Kimberly Flint, 57, went missing from Rusk County, Texas. According to Post, she went missing on Highway 84 east of Ricklaw, Texas on Wednesday, September 27, 2018. Her car crashed vehicle was found on the side of the road. James Flint, Ken's son, and his family became the spokesperson for the family and posted daily videos of his search for his mom. He had pleas for any information about her. Now we know that the car that Kimberly was driving was taken to a wrecking car in Ricklaw, and James was influential in getting the car taken to the sheriff's office for processing. The police later stated they saw no evidence of crime and no tests for blood were ever done because the sheriff's office stated they had no luminol to test with. The Flint family called in a private party to go over the car. On one of the posts of Kim's Facebook, Johnny Davison wrote, "Look closely to the pictures that are attached to this post. You see it? Yes, unbelievable. That, my friends, is what you call a clue. That stain you see on the seat, well, guess what? It field tested as blood." Sheriff's office missed it if they even processed this car at all. Johnson told me that it had been a year since Kim last drove a car. So why would she suddenly jump into her car and drive off if she has not driven by herself for that length of time, especially if she's waiting for her husband to bring her some food and waiting for James to return home? What was so important that she had to leave? Or did she even drive the car? Kimberly's case is still in limbo, and her family is still wondering what happened that fateful day. Number 2, Maura Murray. Maura Murray was 21 when she was last seen on February 9, 2004 after a car crash on Route 112 near Woodsville, New Hampshire, a village in Haverhill. She was a nursing student completing her junior year at the University of Massachusetts Amherst at the time of her disappearance. On the afternoon of Monday, February 9th, Maura was at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, where she was a nursing student, and just before she left the campus, she emailed her professors and work supervisor saying that she was taking a week off due to a death in the family. But according to her family, there had not been a death. She cleaned out all the money from her bank account, packed her bags, and proceeded to head out on her last known drive, buying around $40 worth of alcohol along the way. It's still not known why she was so obsessed in going towards Vermont. On February 9th, Maura had the car crash on Route 112. A passing motorist asked if she needed help, and she said she had called for help. The person left and went home, and then he called the police, just in case. And then when the police got there, Maura was gone. Her car was still there, and in Maura's car was found directions to Burlington and Stowe, Vermont, and a whole box of wine that had been damaged and had leaked out onto the ground around the car. There was also a book on mountain climbing in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. There was Maura's stuffed animal, and a rag was stuffed into the tailpipe of the car. No one knows why that was done. Maura's backpack, phone, and wallet were missing. Later, it was learned that before the accident, Maura had become upset over a phone call she got at 1 a.m. while at work. 2 days after that, she told her boyfriend by email that she didn't want to speak to him. After that, she had made calls seeking a condominium rentals in New Hampshire, as well as those for seeking information on the town of Stowe in Vermont. So we know that was her plan to go there. An abandoned black backpack was found out in the snow in the woods near Pemigewassi Overlook, near the Kancamagus Highway. They thought it was Maura's, but I have never heard whether it was hers or not. Maura still remains missing. Number 3, Brianna Maitland. On March 19, 2004, 17-year-old Brianna Maitland left her job at the Black Lantern Inn in Montgomery, Vermont, telling her co-workers that she was going to go home and rest before her second job. She was never seen again. Her car was found smashed into an abandoned house nearby with her wallet, 2 paychecks, and other possessions. Brianna has not been seen since. It is known that Brianna left a note for her roommate that she would be home after work, but she never showed up. Her disappearance remains unsolved. Number 4, Leah Roberts. Leah Roberts, 23, of Durham, North Carolina, who disappeared under strange circumstances in March of 2000. On March 11, 2000, Leah failed to show up at an appointment with her friend to do some babysitting, and all attempts to reach her went unanswered. When she had still not been seen or heard from on March 13th, she was declared a missing person. Leah's room showed signs that she had been preparing for a lengthy trip of some sort, with many of her belongings and clothes missing, and even her cat was gone, as well as money with a note saying that it was for the following month's rent, along with a promise to be back by that time. And it was thought that she had perhaps decided to go through with her plans for a road trip after all, without telling anybody she was leaving. Later, it was discovered that Leah had been buying gas and staying at motels along I-40. Her last gas purchase was at Brooks, Oregon, and then there was no more charges. That was it. And then on March 18, 2000, Leah's wrecked Jeep Cherokee was accidentally found by some joggers in a remote forest near the Mount Baker Highway in Whatcom County, Washington, not far from the Canadian border. The Jeep had gone off the road at a high rate of speed and tumbled before crashing, and at the scene there was no signs of blood. But Leah's clothes were found strung up in the trees. Inside the car were pillows and blankets placed over the windows, her passport, wallet, and jewelry, cash, and a cat carrier. They're all found around the wreck. There's even a ticket stub for a theater performance in the nearby town of Bellington. So searches for Leah was done with tracking dogs, but she was never found. A man came forward and said he saw a disoriented woman wandering around a gas station in Everett, Washington. Another person said they saw her in Oregon, and she was traveling with a man named Jerrie, but they were never confirmed. Many believe that Leah may have crashed and hit her head and maybe used her car as a shelter until she wandered off on her own, and she could still be out there. Number 5, Patricia Meehan. Patricia Meehan, 37, was last seen on April 20th, 1989. She was living on a ranch in Bozeman, Montana, when she got into a car accident on a stretch of highway in Circle, Montana, because she was driving on the wrong side of the road. Witnesses Peggy Bueller and her dad pulled over to help the woman, Carol Heights, who was hit by Patty. Peggy left to find a phone to call the police. The witnesses stated they saw Patty get out of her car by climbing out the window. They stated it seems as though she was staring off into space, like she was in a trance. Then she suddenly walked towards a fence and climbed it, and then dropped to the other side and just stood there, not moving for a while. She was looking at where the accident was, and then eventually she just wandered off. Now, there is a selfie that she took. The family found when they developed the roll of film found in her car, and it's said to represent the same far away stare that Patty had when the couple walked up to her. Authorities stated it is possible that Patty had amnesia. During the investigation, tennis shoe tracks were found about 3/4 of a mile from the crash, and because of the size of the track, they were pretty sure it belonged to Patty's. They followed the tracks until they disappeared. The Spokane Chronicle reported, quotes, during an earlier sighting, she reportedly asked the truck driver the way to Washington and apparently had been hitching rides and was seen at 2 truck stops and fast food restaurants along the I-80 corridor, close quote. Tom Meehan, Patty's father, told the Spokane Chronicle that through photographs of Patty had been reported of them, 3 of which were confirmed by police. I could not find any different information on which ones. There are also countless comments from people visiting websites and blogs and forums and writing articles about Patty's disappearance, stating they have also seen her. But no one has ever gotten a picture recently. Patty is 5'3" tall. At the time of her appearance, she weighed about 100 pounds. She had strawberry blonde hair past her shoulders and green-gray eyes and freckles. She was last seen wearing blue jeans and high-topped white tennis shoes. Patty, she may still be out there. She might be homeless. We don't know. And there you have it. 5 women that mysteriously disappeared after a car crash. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.